Bing bong.
Hello.
Hi. With the release of Prismatic Evolutions, there are a lot of new people being either introduced or reintroduced into the Pokemon card collecting hobby. And so today, I'll be going over the top 5 best sets for new collectors. Well, little thing right there. Hopefully, I edited something in here. Obviously, there's a bit of a boom in Pokemon card collecting right now, so prices have been skyrocketing like crazy. And so I did my very best to select sets that I believe are worth what they're currently going for. With that being said, the first set on this list is actually the most expensive set on this list, with a average booster pack going for about $10, and that is 151. I know, it's pretty expensive for $10 a pack, but I genuinely think it's worth it. There's not a lot of sets that I would spend $10 on for a booster pack, but I think 151 is my favorite set personally from all of Scarlet and Violet so far. And so I would personally spend $10 on a pack. I don't think it's the worst. I don't think it's that bad. 151 is a beautiful set. It's a Kanto set, so if you're an old-time Pokemon fan, this is probably the set for you. It's full to the brim with amazing art rares, from the Kanto starters to Alakazam to Dragonair, Psyduck, Poliwhirl. There are amazing art rares in this set. There are amazing reverses in this set. There are amazing hollows in this set. Honestly, this is one of the best Kanto sets I think Pokemon has ever released, compared to Generations or Celebrations, all these sets that try to go back to Kanto. I think this is my favorite because it's very original. It's not a cut and paste of old cards. There are new interpretations of classic Pokemon that we all love. And so I think 151 is an amazing set and it deserves to be on this list. In fact, the only reason why it's not higher on this list is because of its price point. I think $10 per pack is a little expensive, and so I put it at 5. If it were cheaper, it'd probably be way higher on this list for me personally. I love 151. Kanto is my favorite region personally, and so I would have this much higher on my own personal list. My number 4 pick for this list, ironically, is the second most expensive set on this list, and that is Surging Sparks. Surging Sparks is currently going for about $8 a booster pack, which again is a little much, but I genuinely think it's worth it. There are, again, amazing cards in this set. It has a really good selection of Pokemon, in my opinion. The Latios, the Latias, the Durant, the Exeggutor, Alolan Exeggutor, Pikachu. There are just so many cards in the set that I absolutely love. Not just the SIRs, not just the illustration rares. I also love the full arts. This set is also packed with full art trainers, so if you are someone who likes to collect trainer cards, this is the set for you. The only reason why it's not higher on this list is again solely due to the price. I think $8 is a little bit much for new collectors, so I get it if you don't really want to spend that much on a new booster pack or a new box. New boxes are going for almost $220, I think, on average, so it is a little expensive. I totally get that, and that's why it's the number four pick on this list. The next two sets are definitely the more cost-effective choices on this list. They're the cheapest sets on this list, but they do not skimp on quality. These two sets have amazing selection both in Pokemons and also in art. The third set on this list is Paradox Rift. Paradox Rift is a set that I don't think gets the love it deserves. It's going for about $5 to $6 a pack right now. The ancient and future Pokemon cards in this set are all amazing. Even the normal holographics, the reverse patterns on them are really nice. They have great illustration rares, special illustration rares, amazing trainer cards, like the professors in Scarlet and Violet. The professors, it's great that they have great SIRs and IRs, because that's kind of but to be honest, it's kind of a requirement to be on this list. I think that every single set that I've chosen for this list has amazing illustrator rares and special illustration rares. What really solidifies this set for me to be my number 3 pick is the Groudon, the Garchomp, and the Roaring Moon. Those 3 cards are fantastic cards, and for the current price of around $5 to $6, I think you can't really get a set that's much better than this. Next entry on this list has a similar reason for why it's so high on the list. There's just an amazing selection of Pokemon. There are amazing arts, but I think the next set on this list has a slightly better Pokemon selection, and the main chase card of that set is probably my favorite, or one of my favorite, special illustration rares in all of Scarlet and Violet. That set is Paldea Evolved. That Magikarp special illustration rare is such a beautiful card. But it's not just that card. It's the Chiyu, the Wo-Chien, the Ting-Lu. There are just so many amazing Pokemon in the set. You like their starters? The starters are there. You like Tyranitar? Tyranitar is there. You like Raichu? Raichu's in this set. There are just so many amazing Pokemon to choose from in this set. It's just kind of something for everyone. And also the art looks amazing. I like all of the SIRs. I like all of the regular illustration rares. I like the selection and variety of Pokemon you have here. I think in the end, these two places right here could possibly be switched for Temporal Forces, or you might want to switch between Paradox Rift or Paldea Evolved. It really depends on what Pokemon you want to get and which cards you think have better artworks. It's very subjective, and so for me personally, I think the cards in Paldea Evolved are just better artworks. I like them more personally, but I think my number one pick is kind of undebatable. It has without a doubt the best artworks you can get for the price point, and it is the most underrated set maybe of all time. In my personal opinion, it is criminally underrated. This set has some of the best Pokemon cards I've seen in such a long time, and I think it's so odd that you can get a booster pack for about $6 of this set, even though it's starting to get up there in age. Now, before we get to the last set on this list, there are some honorable mentions. Surprisingly, I wanted to put Scarlet and Violet base set on this list because I think that there are actually some really nice cards in that set. I think the Koraidon Miraidon special illustration rares are really nice. I think that the Great Tusk, the Iron Treads, really nice cards. The reason why I wound up not choosing it is because I think Paradox Rift and Paldea Evolved have better cards, not just in terms of the Pokemon selection, but I think the artworks are slightly better. Base just has a little bit too many Scarlet Violet Pokemon, not enough variety. And so I think if you're a new collector coming into Pokemon, my assumption is that you're not just somebody who's obsessed with Paldean Pokemon. I would assume you also have some prior knowledge of Pokemon, so you might want to get a Tyranitar or a Garchomp or some other Pokemon that's not from Paldea. And so I think Paradox Rift and Paldea Evolved are better sets for that reason. Temporal Forces was another set I really wanted to include into this video because I love Temporal Forces. It's the set that I've opened up the most of probably. But I also get, I think it's gotten a little bit more expensive. I think it's around $6. It's around the same price as Paradox Rift, but to be honest, I do think that there's just more of a variety of Pokemon in Paradox Rift and in Paldea Evolved. Because in Temporal Forces, there really are only 6 cards that I think are like the main chase cards, and if you're not a fan of those Pokemon, it's not really worth it to get Temporal Forces, I think. And so I do think Paldea Evolved and Paradox Rift are better because of that reason. And for me, you can kind of interchange Paradox Rift and Paldea Evolved. Number one pick on this list is without a shadow of a doubt, it is one of the most underrated sets of all time. That's Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith there is literally a card in Crown Zenith for everyone. Are you a fan of Mew, Mewtwo, the Legendary Beast Trio, Latias? It's all there. Deoxys, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina. Come on, there's a Pokemon card in that set for everyone. If you don't like the legendaries, there is Electivire, Magmortar, freaking Bibarel gets a freaking illustrated rare. There are just too many cards in that set for you not to have one that just drives you crazy that you really want to get. This Crown Zenith is without a doubt the best set in all of Sword and Shield. I don't understand how it's only going for $6 at this point. Lost Origin is going for more money than Crown Zenith, which doesn't make any sense to me. The pull rates are a little difficult, at least in my personal experience, but there's something for everyone in Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith is an amazing set. It's also ridiculously cheap for how old it's getting. You need to get Crown Zenith. I would personally put it as my number one set. I think a lot of people would put it as their number one set. I don't know why it's so criminally underrated. The Japanese set is equally as amazing as V-Star Universe. If you don't know, I opened a box of V-Star Universe not too long ago. I think you should definitely open one box of V-Star Universe because you're guaranteed to get a hit in every single pack. There are higher odds that you're likely going to get the card you want. That is my personal list for what I believe are the best sets right now for new collectors. If there are any sets that you think I missed or any sets that you disagree with on this list, let me know why.